Take just a little bit here to give him a straight edge. We're gonna squirt the camera. Alright guys, hey, welcome back. It's Dr. Carter at Lexington Podiatry, and we have a pretty bad ingrown toenail for you today. He's been trying to do bathroom surgery. Tara's indicating that my glasses are putting a little film there. So he's been trying to take care of it on his own, and he's made it worse. He's determined that. So we're going to help him fix it up today. If you want to look down here, we have a nail that's growing in. You can't see it really because of this piece of tissue here called a pyogenic granuloma. It is hypergranular tissue. It is your body's way of trying to heal itself, and in turn really makes it worse. He may have noticed if he bumps that, it's going to bleed a whole lot. It's really just vessels and vessels. Lots of blood supply, lots of good healthy tissue, just in a bad area. All right, so are any allergies to numbing medicines?
No.
Perfect. All right, we're gonna freeze him up. He's tough, but not that tough. A little bit of cold spray, poke. You're gonna feel your toe get real big, real puffy. And if it hurts too bad, you let me know and we'll stop and give you a break. He's a pretty tough guy, so this shouldn't be too bad for him.
How fast can that piece of tissue form like that?
He said it popped up overnight, so it doesn't take long. Now, we also don't know what was brewing in there before he actually saw it. Usually it's in response to a nail poking into the skin, and the skin is trying to react to the traumatic incidents that's happening. But it usually does happen pretty quick. You see his toe getting real big. He did just tell me that he saw some videos online where they injected up under the nail. That seems torturous to me, and we would never ever do that. We want to come back here away from the site that's real tender, real sensitive, and inject back there. There's 4 main nerves, 2 on top, 2 on bottom, that are coming into the tip of the toe, and if we knock all of those out back here in the back, we should be good. Perfect. You notice the toe swells, it turns colors there, and that's common because we don't use epinephrine, but we're injecting a whole lot of fluid into a small little area. So it does kind of cut off circulation for me. Perfect. There's that. We'll get it set up and I'll be back. Ready? All right, so we're back. He's nice and numb. We'll make sure and try in a second to test him out. The girls have applied betadine for me, so I'm going to squeeze the toe and apply a tourniquet. I want to make sure and keep as much blood away as I can. That will help the chemical that I use to work better. And it also makes it less messy for me. Thank goodness I don't have on a white shirt today or pants. All right, can you feel that?
No.
Okay. First thing I do is I cut this granuloma off. If I leave it on there, I'm not going to be able to see as well how much nail I should take, and then I'll end up taking too much nail, and I don't want to do that. Even though you might not be entering a foot modeling contest, you don't want your toenail to look weird.
That's correct.
All right, so my goal is to come here. I always picture that in my head. I know kind of where I'm aiming for. So I'm going to loosen up all the tissue around it. And you can tell where he did his bathroom surgery here, but he left that. So I'm just going to help him to complete the process. All right, we loosened it up from all edges. We're going to take just a little bit here to give him a straight edge. We're going to squirt the camera with blood. It's okay. Tara blinked. We're going to go all the way down underneath the tissue. Double check it to make sure it's nice and loose. Courtney's laughing at Tara because she thinks it's funny.
She got squirted.
Correct.
You didn't get squirted.
There we go.
Oh, that was a piece of cake.
Yeah, I know, it was. All right. So all of that blood's coming from that granuloma. Are you on any blood thinners?
No.
Okay. And in podiatry, I would much rather you bleed than not bleed. If I do a procedure and you don't bleed, I start to get scared.
Okay.
I just don't. I need to be able to see. I have to put the tourniquet on again. We're going to take it off and regroup. See if I can do that without squirting Tara.
So did you see any abnormal condition in there when you cut back?
Nope.
Maybe I caused or?
Nope.
Okay.
All right. Check out those skills. Alright, now there is some skin in here that I needed to get out. So I'm thankful, see, look at that. I'm thankful that we got it to not bleed on me.
So how come taking the tourniquet off when it was already on stopped the bleeding?
I squeezed the toe again, and I left the gauze on there, so I got a little bit of extra pressure. That's a good question. So this is the remnants of that pyogenic granuloma, and that's what's bleeding so much. But I want to make sure and get rid of all of it because we don't want it to bother him. Okay. Stick. This is sodium hydroxide. This is the chemical that keeps it away. All of a sudden, you see it turns black. I will not let his toe rot off. It turns black when it mixes with blood. We do 3 applications of 10 seconds each, usually constantly spinning it. Now, I do try to hold the nail that's left down because I don't want any of it to leak up under there. I want him to have a good, clean, straight edge.
That's what, sodium hydroxide?
Correct. It's a basic compound, not an acid. And then we neutralize it with vinegar. We have these nice little cotton balls loaded with vinegar that we will squeeze on there. Oh, look at that. Once again, the black is okay. Usually black on a toe freaks people out. This time it's okay. All right, so the skin will fold over, and there's what he will be left with. We will trim the rest of this nail because I don't want any excessive pressure to cause a weird healing. Jeez. All right, perfect. We're gonna take the tourniquet off. May I have one more dry gauze real quick? Just to make sure. Thank you, ma'am. Okay, started coming on its own. So I'm gonna put this one on a little bit tighter than I normally would, just because he's oozing. There was antibiotic ointment loaded on there already by my lovely assistant. And it's going to bleed through, so we'll have to let him sit here for a few minutes, and then the girls will come back in and change it to make sure that he doesn't bleed through on his way home. Nothing worse than getting home and having a gross toe. Perfect. There you guys have it. Ingrown toenail with a pyogenic granuloma. There is blood all over my phone case back here, so we'll get that cleaned up, but that should have been a good shot. So thanks for watching. Have a great day, guys.